How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all having a good day. Today we are going to do some live savers game hunting, but before that we are going to give something away from the last video. I know it was like 6 months ago, but we're going to keep the tradition going. We had 35 different people comment, so if you don't win on this, don't worry. Just leave a comment about absolutely anything on this video and you'll be entered in the next one. And the winner for this video is my buddies over at Torture Vision, so just send me a message to gettingyournerdon13@gmail.com and I will get something out in the mail to you. And speaking of mail, let's first check out a package that I got from Amazon. This cost me about, I think like $8.50 shipped. And it's a game I wouldn't normally buy, but it's part of a bigger set that I'm trying to collect. As you can see here, this is the 360 version and it is a DVD combo pack, which means it's a game that comes with a movie. They also made these for the Wii and the PS3. I found some at pawn shops and some at local game stores and some at GameStops, so I decided to go for the whole set of them. There's only 11 games in total, I'm pretty sure. And most of the games do come with a movie that's in the same line, like Lego Batman comes with the 1989 Batman film, and Lego Harry Potter does come with one of the Harry Potter movies. But then you have other games like Fear 3, which comes with Orphan, and I'm pretty sure they have nothing to do with each other. George Miller actually wrote and directed both of these movies, and he also wrote and directed all of the Mad Max movies. Let's just say he has quite a diverse portfolio when it comes to filmmaking. I almost didn't even bother doing a write-up on this one because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to hear about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if no one's talking about Happy Feet or Happy Feet 2 in 2020, so yeah. I'm gonna be that guy. Happy Feet 2 was developed by KMM Games, published by Warner Brothers, and released in 2011 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii. A handheld version was also developed by WayForward Technologies for the DS and 3DS. As stated in the manual, Mumble and Ramon are on a mission. What starts as Mumble chasing after his humiliated son turns into an adventure to save the entire penguin colony from extinction. But they won't be able to do it alone. They'll need to recruit as many fellow penguins as they can to aid them. As you play Happy Feet 2, you will need to collect a target number of penguins in each level to complete the level. And as you progress through the game, you will need to amass a veritable army of allies to help save the colony, using only your ability to dance to convince them. Happy Feet 2 contains over 50 levels to dance, stomp, slide, and climb through, either solo or co-op, including boss battles and races with 45 achievements to unlock. Alright, so now we're heading into Savers. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and this place is dead. Now this footage is from mid to late March 2020, so people were starting to quarantine at this time, but regardless, I've never seen this place as dead before. There's no one in here. First up, we have some third-party GameCube controllers. The one in front is a Nyko, and the two behind it, I believe, are both GameStop branded. I tend to stay away from the third-party stuff unless there's a specific design or feature that I'm looking for. And behind that is a PlayStation Move controller. At $5 or less, I recommend you pick up every single one of these that you see. Here's about a half dozen plug-and-plays. The first one is Miss Pac-Man. This one is pretty good, and the stick twists left and right besides just moving like a normal joystick. Here is Buck Hunter Pro. At $5 I would have grabbed this, but it requires a sensor, and like I always say, if it's not permanently attached, it's lost, and the sensor is going to cost you way more than $5 to find. Here is one for Deal or No Deal. I did find this at a flea market a little while ago, so that's going to be what my next plug and play and review is on. And then here's a blackjack one. I mean, look at the design of some of these. Like even the Deal or No Deal one. The design of the controllers themselves look fantastic. It's normally the games that are just questionable. And lastly, we have a Pac-Man one. Look at this thing. It's friggin' huge. I'm not even sure which games are on this. $7 is not bad for a plug and play if you're looking for it. And this one even has batteries in it still. Now here's the game rack we've seen multiple times before. A lot of 10-footers here today, including this one here, Zoo Hospital. To the left, there's some Grand Theft Autos. Actually, to the right, there's also some Grand Theft Autos. There's some Far Cry, San Andreas here. Hot Shots is over there. X-Men. We got some cars. Final Fantasy X, Blowout, Need for Speed Most Wanted. There's a copy of Farming Simulator up there. I actually do pick that up even though you don't see me grab it on the rack here. Here's Guitar Hero 3. As I've said before, I'm back in. I'm all in on the Guitar Hero stuff, so I'm going to pick it up. Here's Lego Lord of the Rings. This is, in my opinion, the best Lego game ever made. We've talked about it before, so I'm not going to go into much detail about it now. But if you haven't played it, definitely pick it up. Here's one you don't see all the time, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I actually recently found the PS4 version of this at a pawn shop. What else do we have here? Armored Core 5, this is the one I regret not picking up, not because I want it or that I'd ever play it, but I mean, just look at the condition of this. That manual has like never been touched before. What else do we have? There's a bunch of 10-footer Wii games over there, Mafia 2, I've talked about that game in the past. Here's Halo 3. $3 is not a bad deal on it if you're looking for it. It's normally only $5 though at GameStop before any discounts. Karaoke Revolution, here is Halo 2 on the PC. What else we got? Yeah, the Glee one, Tony Hawk Shred, that's trash. Ultimate Band, Sega Bass Fishing is pretty good. Here is a Fallout lunchbox. I did pick up a backpack a couple videos ago. I've used it a few times, but in all honesty, the quality of it isn't very good, and if you tried to use it for a long period of time, it would probably fall apart or just rip. And inside of this, we have a Fallout 4 flag. This is actually part of a bigger set that came with like a bobblehead, a backpack, and a hoodie. I'm not sure how stuff like this makes its way to the thrift store, but I tried to find some of the other pieces, and I looked all around the store for it, but none of them are here. Here are some Beanie Babies. There's probably like 60 of them here. I'm really bad at guesstimating numbers. These look like the sports line or whatever they had. I'm not going to pick any of these up. I'm just showing them because this is probably something you don't see all that often. Here is a VTech V-Smile. I do want one of these just to do a scraping the bottom on, and then I wanted to get it as far away as possible from me. But this was only 10 bucks and it's complete. You can't really go wrong here. It didn't come with any games, so I left it behind because, again, I'm not trying to add this thing to my collection, and I really don't want to lug it around. I want to play it one time with 10 or 15 games, make a video about it, and then donate it. And as I was leaving, the magazine rack caught my eye just as I was about to walk away from it. And there's actually some guides in there. Right in the front, you can see one for GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. I've talked about guide collecting in the past where I don't do it. I try to stay away from strategy guides, but I'm going to make an exception for these because I love this era of gaming, and I don't have any of these, and they're all in pretty nice shape. And they're like $2 or $3 and $4 before any discounts. So I'm definitely going to grab the GoldenEye one. The one in the back there is Jet Force Gemini, and this is a game that I have not got around to playing yet, and I need to, but the art in this book is fantastic. This is another game by Rare for the Nintendo 64, and at $3, I mean, you can't walk away from that. What else do we have here? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I didn't even know that that game was on the Nintendo 64. It's not really worth anything, and I don't need it, so that one I'm going to leave behind. Here is a totally unauthorized Nintendo 64 book. This is another one that I'm going to leave behind. And here's Majora's Mask. This is a no-brainer, $4. I have never finished this game, so I do need to go back and play it. My girlfriend loves this game. It has really picked up steam in the last like 10 years or whatever. And you can see I'm just going through here. I'm trying to see if there's any more hidden under here. And here's Ocarina of Time. This is a game that I loved back in the day. I need to play through it again. I'll probably just do it on the 3DS. This one's a little worse for wear, but I'm still grabbing it. And now I'm just going through here trying to find if there's anything else hidden amongst the Oprah and Highlights magazines. And this is an unofficial 5 Crazy Nights, 5 Nights at Freddy's book. I haven't got to play this game yet, but I do love the art style in it. And it's worth $1 even just to read it once and then donate it back or give it to the library or burn it, whatever you want to do. And here's an overview shot of all the stuff that I picked up. I believe all of it came to about $33 out the door after discounts. Can't really beat it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Now, I don't have too much of this stuff to show because after everyone was quarantining, I threw a bunch of the stuff on eBay and almost all of it just sold immediately, but there is a couple things I still have left. I am hanging on to the guides. As you can see, here's a closer look at them in just a little better lighting. They're in really nice shape. They're going to go right into the collection, and they're of great games. And I'm not sure why there's no footage of this and why it wasn't in the overhead shot before, but I also found Little Big Planet 3 at Savers, and I have to say, I respect the game and I absolutely love the art style, but after recording the footage for this, I am most likely never ever going to go back to play it again. It's just not a game for me, but there is so much content in this series that you can literally play it for the rest of your life and never play a level twice. Little Big Planet 3 was developed by Sumo Digital, published by Sony, and released for the PlayStation 3 and 4 in 2014. It's the 3rd game released in the main series and the 8th game released overall since its debut in 2008. Media Molecule, who made Little Big Planet 1 and 2, assisted in the development but went to work on Tearaway and Dreams instead of fully taking on the project. According to the box, PlayStation's most imaginative franchise is back with a new cast of playable plush characters and the biggest handcrafted adventure yet. A 2D puzzle platformer game that you will fly, pound, and speed your way through like never before. With the main character Sackboy returning yet again, it introduces 3 new characters, Swoop, Oddsock, and Toggle. The game is backwards compatible with all previous DLC, has 38 trophies with an ultra rare platinum of 0.1%, and claims to have access to over 9 million user created levels. As of 2020, Little Big Planet 3 is the final game released in the series. And for the last game of the video, we're going to take a look at The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like this game. I will try it one more time to see if my opinion changes, but this does feel to me like it's Marvel's answer to the Arkham games, just pivoted to be more in line with Spider-Man, but the game is still too clunky. It needs to be smoother. Didn't even enjoy swinging around, which is one of the biggest things in a Spider-Man game. And in doing my research for this game to write the blurb, I came across this quote from Justin McElroy, who wrote for Polygon when I was on Wikipedia, and I feel like he nailed exactly the way I feel about this game. He said, "There have been many worse Spider-Man games than this, but I can't recall one that swung so conceptually close to greatness, only to let poor execution drag it back to earth." The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was developed by Beenox, published by Activision, and released in 2014 for PlayStation 3 and 4, PC, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. A handheld version was also released for the 3DS, as well as a mobile version for Android and iOS. Loosely based on the 2014 film of the same name, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 boasts 14 story missions, 15 races, a dozen combat challenges, and 47 achievements to unlock. There are 8 bosses, 2 of which, Electro and the Green Goblin, overlap with the movie. Although Rhino has a scene at the end of the film, he is not included in the game as he appeared in the previous game's DLC, Rhino Challenge. The base game includes 13 different suits with more that can be obtained through DLC. Some of them are Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man 2099, Superior Spider-Man, and the Hornet suit. Stan Lee voices and lends his likeness in a full-on role here as the comic stand owner, which is a nice touch. Unfortunately, Andrew Garfield did not do the same for the title role, which is immediately noticeable and takes away from the movie tie-in. After Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, and The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the 4th and final Spider-Man game developed by Beenox. So that's what I picked up recently. What have you picked up? What have you been playing, listening to, reading? All of the above. I'll see you next week for a video on a free PlayStation 3 Craigslist pickup. Until then, I'll be hanging out with my girlfriend in Pippin Bean and playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay nerdy.
Getting your nerd on, getting your nerd on, getting your nerd on.
I got a raging nerd on.